Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. This is the Monday, November 16th, 2020 edition. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams. That's our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury. And it's time for the Monday Night Mailbag. We have a request coming in from Timmy via our Twitch to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin, baby. Steve Austin. What? What?
Where do we start?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to the WWF after leaving WCW as the stunning Steve Austin, begins his journey as the ringmaster. Very technically sound wrestler, and really kind of stays in the mid-card zone, but everybody's got their eye on him.
Yeah.
And it's not until he gets this incredible opportunity where he wins the King of the Ring, which actually he wasn't destined to win initially.
No, originally it was Triple H, but due to the curtain call,
incident, and Stone Cold took over. Stone Cold then cuts an incredible promo, which coined his 316 moniker. You thump your Bibles and you talk about your John 3:16s. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass. And as a kid in the 90s, if you wore one of those shirts, they would make you take it off. And in fact, I've got a close family friend who got forced to take her shirt off, and Stone Cold found out about it and got her tickets to see Monday Night Raw, because he's that dude.
He's awesome.
Leading
in... Hold on. Speaking of shirts, the funniest thing about that whole situation is Mick Foley says in his book, he says they're going around, and the guy who takes down check marks, things like T-shirts, action figures. He's going to Foley and he's like, what can I get you to start into production? And Mick Foley's like, well, Mankind is supposed to be scary to children. Yeah. So I don't think they should wear a shirt. How about an action figure? They said, okay. And he looks down at the paper, and Mark Henry, who had just signed on as the Olympic, Mark Henry's like, he's got flags and shirts and headbands and stuff. And Stone Cold from out of nowhere in the back goes, hey, Jimmy, how about can we get a Stone Cold t-shirt? And the dude looks at Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time and goes, we just don't see anything in our market that you could sell a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt. And in 1 year's time, Stone Cold outsold Hulk Hogan.
Everyone.
Hulk Hogan, of all people. It was the number one selling t-shirt in the world.
Stone Cold Steve Austin took the business by storm in the late 90s and changed pro wrestling forever, made it mainstream. Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Nitro were in the middle of the Monday Night War, the most watched and most valued period of pro wrestling in history.
And yes, my wife says it best. He's also one of the greatest promo guys in the history of professional wrestling.
Agreed. Could always talk, and also is responsible for the what chant. Basically, when talking to a wrestler and they're trying to talk to him, they'll make points. Let's demonstrate.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What?
What? You're not doing it. Whatever.
I'm not giving you that.
Yeah. Well, we have to show them. It's whatever.
You already did it earlier.
The point is that now fans would hijack the audience and chants in the crowd, and every time a wrestler would say something, and this goes on today. 25 fucking years later.
35 years later.
Where wrestlers would just be like, what?
45 years later.
It's horrible. Anyway, let's talk about some of the big moments.
Well, going to a taping or a Raw event was impossible to enjoy it.
Yeah, because fans would just...
Oh, my God.
And also, the rabid fans, Stone Cold took over the business. You couldn't go to a show, couldn't watch a show on TV without seeing, if there are 15,000 people in the audience, there are 14,700 Stone Cold Steve Austin shirts.
Oh, every bit of it.
The beer.
And every one of them was different because he had that many t-shirts.
Made more money in that run than had ever been made before in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Just took it completely mainstream. Just took it and is responsible for some of the biggest moments in wrestling. The first guy in the WWF to fight back against Vince McMahon, literally.
Car with cement.
Oh, yeah. The beer trucks.
The beer trucks.
Oh, my God.
Truck,
Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning Vince McMahon in the middle. Oh, my God.
Vince.
Deborah's cookies.
Oh, my God. Did you eat those cookies? Did you like them? Hell no, you didn't like them. They taste like shit.
One of my favorite memories, and actually this one got me in a lot of trouble when I was a kid, Stone Cold Steve Austin is hunting members of Degeneration X.
So
Snares Road Dogg in a
bear trap.
A bear trap. Catches X-Pac in a snare, dangles him upside down. Goes through this whole thing. Finally gets to Vince McMahon, and this is super controversial on television.
Yes.
Vince McMahon's in the middle of the ring begging Austin for mercy, and Stone Cold pulls out a gun. He puts it up against Vince McMahon's head, and like, you're watching Raw, and people want to see him get his fucking brains blown out. And then Austin pulls the trigger,
and a flag comes out that says "Bang!"
And Vince McMahon pisses himself all over the fucking ring.
The best part about that is he's sitting backstage, and they've talked about Austin's coming, and he's possibly got a weapon.
Yeah.
And these cops, uniformed police officers, come over to his truck, and they're like, "Yeah, we hear you have a gun." He's like, "Yeah, well, let me show it to you." And you can't see the gun.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, yeah, he's ain't it nice?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's nice." And they're like, "Well, have a good night, Steve." Or Mr. Austin.
Yeah.
And they walk away, and that's the most brilliant part of everything. Is because it looks like the cops are like, "Yeah, we don't give a shit." He's showing them it's a prop gun. He's like, "Yeah, what do you think of that? It's a nice looking gun. Hey, it'll probably shoot straight, right?"
Oh, man.
Fucking fantastic, man.
2-time winner of the Royal Rumble. Back to back.
3-time
winner of the 2 times were the back-to-back wins. And then won it the year after the following year.
Yeah. He won 97 in controversial fashion.
Yes. 97.
98, and then 2001.
Yeah. Goes on to main event WrestleMania, pretty much that entire span. Has a killer match with Bret Hart, which is, Laurel, in my opinion, one of the best wrestling matches ever in the WWF history.
Also was the debut of Ken Shamrock.
Yep, debut of Ken Shamrock. And then, obviously, Stone Cold and The Rock created
one of the best rivalries in professional wrestling.
Second only to Stone Cold's rivalry with Vince McMahon.
Or Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, no one can deny. Okay, so Muhammad Ali at this time is still... No, not Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson. I see what you're trying to do to me here. Mike Tyson at this period in time is Mike Tyson's the most dangerous man in boxing.
Yes.
The most dangerous, and it's still today probably the most dangerous man in boxing. So they bring him in, and they keep using that tag, most dangerous man in the world, most dangerous man in the world, and they use it with Austin as well, and they have this incredible confrontation where you really think they're about to beat the piss out of each other. And you believe that Austin can fight Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
In any other universe, in any other sport, it doesn't matter what you do. If Mike Tyson goes into an NFL locker room and challenges an NFL linebacker to a fight, the NFL linebacker is going to say, "No, I don't want to fight Mike Tyson."
And Austin was like, "Bring it on."
And Austin, and the fans are like, the fans don't even question for a second that Stone Cold in real life would get hurt. Maybe not very badly, but badly enough. But the fans just ate it up, man. He changed the business.
Austin also had so much merchandise. I actually listened to one of his podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Which he's got a great
He
podcast,
still has merchandise today.
There's merchandise that comes onto his show that people send him to sign. And the other day he was like, "I literally got 30 pieces of merchandise to sign, and I have never seen any of these items."
Yeah, Vince had so much money.
I never approved any of these items. Which usually they would be like, that looks good. So many items for Stone Cold Steve Austin out there that Austin didn't even know were made.
Or forgot were made.
Well, that's like Jericho and the bowling ball.
Yeah.
When he talks about, there's a bowling ball with Y2J on it.
He had no idea. Yeah, Stone Cold, some of the best matches. Also was responsible really for that period in which we saw today's legends come to fruition in the ring with him. Triple H, The Undertaker, Mankind, Kane, Kurt Angle.
It was during the big boom of the Attitude Era.
And the only thing we missed, really, real quick, dream match for Stone Cold you never got to see.
Dream match with Stone Cold you never got to see?
As a fan.
As a fan?
As a fan.
Oh, God, there's so many, dude.
In that period of time.
Oh, in that period of time.
Well, you know where I'm going with this.
Well, I know where you're going with this. You're going with this, and my going with this is two completely different things. Honestly, if there's somebody, like, I don't want to say in that period of time, because my guy dream that I would like to see could still feasibly happen.
What?
I would like to see Austin and Cena.
That's a good one.
I think Austin and Cena would be fantastic.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Because, the face versus the face.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
But in those days, there's so many you could throw out there. I would have liked to have seen Austin and Hogan.
We got close. Well, We got Hogan laying out a challenge.
Yeah.
and Austin
basically telling him, I open up a can of whoop ass with your name on it.
Austin and Goldberg never happened, should have happened.
They should have.
What, in that period of time, would have made more money than any wrestling event ever.
Yep.
They could have filled out the biggest arena in the world. Wouldn't matter where they put it, would have drawn more money than fucking any match.
I would have also liked to seen a rematch with Michaels and Austin with a healthy Michaels.
I agree with that. I would have liked to have seen a rematch with Austin and Brett.
Yeah?
Like a real rematch with a similar build, with the same work.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been great.
Would have been fantastic.
Yep. All right, guys, that is going to close us up here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown on this Monday. Be sure to send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Like us here on youtube.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. And don't forget to find us on Twitch every Saturday at twitch.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Catch you later.